Hi everyone, thank you for joining us for today. All right, now checking for the YouTube students. Hello YouTube students, sampai bila kita mau check. All right, hi, cool. Everyone from 4 students can see me too using my phone. All right. If you're wondering what I'm thinking about, is the fact that I have this one screen. My second screen is still at the kedai by key, so I'm like stuck using my phone and screen. But you don't want to hear about that. What you want to hear is about. Hi everyone, my name is Teacher Uma, and thank you for joining us on today's class. Max's eKelas brought to you by Max's. Today we're going to learn English. If you see me, it's usually English, and we're going to talk about. Let me just bring up the slides in 3, 2, 1. 1.0.5. All right, there we go, share. All right, so today we're talking about essay writing and talking about how to write the proper introduction. So how to, words. Okay, introduction to essay writing, how to write email part 1. I apologize, the words got confusing for a bit. All right, so let's learn how to write an email. How to attempt part 1 of the paper 2 SPM English examination. Right now I'm talking to Form 4 students. If you are not Form 4, you're Form 3 or Form 2, I would not recommend this for you because it's going to be a lot more jargon and it's going to be a bit more rough. But if you want to, feel free to do so. For Form 4, Form 5, you're here right now. Great for Form 4, you're learning on track. In Form 5, it's a good way to review. Let's begin. Now, email writing, part 1 of the paper 2 SPM examination. It's worth 20 marks. This section tests your ability to write emails. Before sitting for the examination, you must first be familiar with how emails are written, and also we'll explore the best way on how an email is written in the following slide. Let's go. Hi Nadina, welcome to class. Now, tips on how to write a good email. So before I continue this class, Form 4 students, are you with a book and pen? Do you have a glass of water with you? And are you comfortable? If you are all of the above, good job. If you're not, make sure to check that list. Find yourself a comfortable spot to sit in, get a book and get a pen. You'll need to take notes. Let's go. All right, so tips on how to write a good email. 1, before writing the email, make sure you have written the right email address, because after you've written it and it doesn't go to the person you intended it to, that's a waste and we wouldn't want that. So make sure the email is correct. 2, make sure that the subject of the email is meaningful and relevant. You need to make sure that the subject of the email is meaningful and relevant. If not, why an email? 3, start the conversation with a greeting. With every email, regardless of how many times you talk to the person, you need to have a nice greeting. It's always a good way to start a conversation online. Why is this the case? So if you're wondering why it's important to always have a greeting, it's because every time you write an email, you can't really delete it from the other person. It's a permanent record. And when having a conversation online, sometimes things get lost through translation. You don't know if the conversation started somewhere or ended somewhere. Are you continuing on from a different conversation? A greeting resets the conversation. This is why it's important, Form 4 students. If you've always wondered, this is why it's important to write greetings and emails. It resets the conversation so that it's clear what you're going to be talking about. And the greeting does that. It's a new conversation. So yes. 4, mention the reason why you are writing your email. Again, because it's a permanent document, it's important to say why you're writing it. I am writing to you because I want to order your cookies. I'm writing to you because I miss you a lot. I'm writing to you because I need to discuss something very important and I needed to have a record. These are the things you need to put in your email. You fail to do this and you will write very weak or bad emails, which does not do good for you. So it's really important here. Emails are going to be a big part of your life in the future. So I really want you to understand this. 5, try to keep your email within 80 words. Now, a long email berjela-jela, is not going to be beneficial for you or them. Why? Do you like reading long texts of words? Do you? If you don't, the person you're sending the email to will also not like receiving a really long email. Keep your email short and concise. For more elaboration, you can have a follow-up email. By discussing the first email you send, you need to make it clear, crisp, and easy to read so that when a person receives it, they want to read your email. A really good email written is a really good email written. And finally, end your email with an appropriate closing. It's important to close the email because you want to make it clear you're done talking about it. You don't want it to seem that you have something more to say, but it doesn't finish. You're not there. You're not there in person to explain to your reader that you're done. You need to clearly say, so thank you so much for reading through this text. This brings me to the end of my email. Thank you so much. I hope this email arrives to you in good health. Sincerely, your name. As the ending of your email. Done. And you have to make it clear. Failure to do that, and again, your email looks weird and people will not appreciate it. And well, yeah, a lot of, because we're moving into the digital era, emails are going to be a big part of your life. So you need to learn how to do this. Additional tips. Read the question thoroughly to know what points you should include in your email. So this is more to SPM related tips. You need to read the question thoroughly, because if you do not get the question right, you're going to answer, but the answer will not be on topic. And regardless of how well it was written, off-topic answers mean it's incorrect. So you're going to lose a lot of marks there. So make sure, please make sure to pause. I know you're rushing to the exam. In the exam, you'll be like, I need to answer as many as possible. Speed read. When it comes to this, you need to really slow down. Like take a breather and then read the question thoroughly. 2, use a conversational style. An informal tone can also be used. Your email should sound as if you're conversing with your friend. Now, format is there for formality purposes, for clarity, to know what your email is about. The tone, it talks about how you form your sentences. It needs to be informal because it's a friendly conversation. Generally, it should sound like you're talking to someone in real life and not like a robot, or for legal procedures. 3, always check for grammatical errors and spelling mistakes. Once you are done writing your email, do not skip this step for 2 purposes. For the exam, you'll lose marks. If you do a grammatical error, spelling mistake, or even a misplaced comma, like it's not there, you lose marks. In real life purposes, if you do not include the correct comma or text, you're going to have a hard time explaining to the other party why you wrote what you wrote. A misspelling can be very detrimental to whatever you're saying to the other person. PNJ, thank you for telling that. I will slow down. I apologize if I spoke too fast. If you need me to slow down, just say so, and I will slow down. But please know, this is why, the reason why I'm rushing is because I really want you to understand why an email is so important. So I apologize for that. I'll slow down now. Hopefully this is an okay speed for everyone. All right. Now, first question here, put a tick mark beside the sentences that can be used to start an email. So here we have a few sentences, read through, and we'll go through it one by one. So I'm going to put a number here. It's going to be hard for you to say, to tell me if it's tick or not tick. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So in the chat, tell me by number, so I know which one you're referring to. 1, tick, 2, no. Now let's change that. Let's go to yes or no. So 1 yes, 2 yes, no, or 3 no, 4 yes, 5 yes, 5 no. All right. So we'll go through it one by one. I'll read it out, but feel free to answer whichever one you want to try first. So number 1, I'm glad to know that you're interested to take up a hobby. Number 2, I hope this helps. Number 3, do let me know if you need help. Number 4, have a safe trip and take care. Number 5, I hope this email finds you well. So I think Shafullah Nasir says 5 yes. Okay, number 6, I hope my advice has been helpful. Rian also answers number 5 as yes. Do let me know if you need further information. No one says that. And number 8, how are you? Also an answer. So we put answer for taking 5 and 8. Do we have any other answers, everyone? Ada jawapan lain tak untuk soalan ni? Yang boleh kita letakkan di awal email? Yang lain macam tak aja, okay? Macam tak aja. I agree. But let's find out. In 3, 2, 1. Alamak. There we go. So, the answer is, I'm glad to know that you're interested to take up a hobby. I hope this email finds you well. And how are you are all beginning of an email. But cikgu, kenapa 1 tu macam pelik? The 1 punya answer fits better if you realize that that could be a beginning of a reply email. Like the previous email, someone asked you about hobbies, that they are interested in getting a hobby. Number 1 works if you're replying an email and you're beginning that email with a reply. Does that make sense? If a friend emails you, hey, I'm kind of interested into taking up a hobby. I don't know which hobby to go for though. Do you have recommendations? Blah, 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 blah. Then they send it to you. You get it, you read it, you reply back to them. I'm glad to know that you're interested to take up a hobby. I too enjoy quite a few. Here are my hobbies. So that's when the first one works. It does not really work if it's the first email of a conversation, but it does work at the start of an email, of a reply email to someone's conversation, which is why I say again, it's important to end your emails properly so that you have the other person receiving knows where to start. And two, it's also good to understand how things work so you can identify what a letter or email is trying to say. Now, moving forward, I think everyone has seen this. If you're at this level of your life, you're Form 4 right now, you're on the portal, you know how YouTube works. I think you know what this looks like. This is an email in 80 words, right? A reply to your friend. Usually, if you have a YouTube account, you should have a Gmail account, so that's standard. So this is something you are used to seeing. However, in exams, you don't have to use your real email, okay? You can make a fake one up. Asalkan whatever you put in the beginning is one safe and clean. Please don't put something that's not appropriate. And then followed up by @ and then a web provider, and then .com. Or if you're in Malaysia, you're definitely in Malaysia and you're using .com.my or whatever email format you're using. I have a yahoo.co.uk because I have one. So that's what I use sometimes. So that's what email you can put there. Subject, here's clearly what you're talking about, which hobby should I take up? And then this is the format. So remember the reply email beginning that I mentioned, which was this. I'm glad to know that you're interested to take up a hobby. That's where that email format can work. So let's read this first. Hi, the school holidays are around the corner and I am thinking of taking up a hobby. Which hobby should I take up? Singing, baking, dancing, or art and craft? I'm spoiled for choice. I would love to know what you suggest I should take up. Let me know. Bye, Miranda. So you can tell first and foremost, from whom is this email from? Miranda. This email is from Miranda, and they're talking to specifically Jasmine. So I know you have your own name, but for the sake of the exam, if they include to Jasmine and you need to reply on behalf of them, you are now who? Who are you now, class? What's the name you now go by in the email? Can anyone answer me this? Who are you in reference to the email? Are you Miranda or are you Jasmine? Hello? 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 Anyone? Do you have an answer yet? Oh, we have an answer now. Hold on. Chat. Yes, Sinjing. Good job. Oh, we have Miranda from the no. Okay. So Nadine also FHJY. Good attempt, but here I'll show you now. So to is whom the email is intended for. From is the person who wrote the email. So if the person who wrote the email is Miranda, it's meant for. This email was written for. Zinjing got it right on the Zoom class. It's for Miranda, wrote for to Jasmine. This email was written to Jasmine. Does that make sense? Is everyone still confused about this? So Amara, Magentira, and a few other people are also slightly confused about this. So I want to explain. An email is written to Jasmine from Miranda. That means daripada Miranda ke Jasmine. So that's how we identify this. So if you see this in the exam, that they've written whom the email was for, and you need to reply, the name in which you refer yourself to is Jasmine. Make sure this is clear because I have seen students make the mistake of not using the name there. However, you can avoid this if you use the pronouns I and you and avoid saying names. But however, it's a cheap technique, and I would recommend that you read the question properly and understand this. So now you do. So good job. So, hi, the school holidays are around the corner. I want to take up a hobby, and they're asking for us a suggestion of what I should take up. So this is the question right now. They're asking you what you suggest I should take up. Let me know. So your reply email needs to be about what hobby should they pick up. This email is asking you, Jasmine, to write to them, Miranda, what hobby should they take up? That is the question for today. I hope that's clear. All right. So here is a sample answer. Again, now we are writing. So from Jasmine to Miranda, subject, what your thoughts are. What hobby is the best for them? And then you're gonna have to explain why. So here the subject is, baking is the best choice for you. And they say, hi Miranda, that's the greeting. Hello Miranda, hi Miranda. First sentence is going to be the reply. I'm glad to know that you want to take up a hobby during the school holidays. Followed up by your opinion. In my opinion, you should take up baking. But why? Why should Miranda take up baking? Because you have always loved to bake. I remember you once baked chocolate chip cookies for the annual school event, and it was a big hit. You can also polish your skills by joining a baking course. Here, you'll be able to learn from professional instructors through hands-on demonstration. My advice is helpful. Regards, Jasmine. So that is the full reply email. It was followed by a greeting, a statement of what you're talking about, your recommendation for the hobby that you should do, why your opinion is as such, followed by what benefits your opinion can give to the person, followed by the closing, which is, I hope my advice is helpful. I look forward to seeing what you're doing with the hobby. Regards, your closing, Jasmine, your name, your sign. That's how you finish the email. And for a general email like this, you don't sign it. That's for a letter. It's a different thing. It's an email. So there we go. Make sure you write the correct email, which is why I asked you before this. Do you identify who's writing it for whom? You need to include an appropriate greeting. You need to write an appropriate subject. Based on the email in your question, compose your email with elaboration to your points. It should be around 80 words. If you're able to give a suggestion, reason why, your opinion, and why it's beneficial for the person, those 4 things should give you enough words to complete the exam, the question. 80 words is not a lot. You already covered 10 in your greetings and your replies. You have another 15 in your recommendation of what hobby to do. And after that, it's another 20 words, 35 words of why it's beneficial for them, what you look forward for them to do. And finally, the closing takes around the 5 to 10 words. So you're good, you're done. All 4 students, you got this. Finally, sign off with your name and you're done. Ranjit tanya, apa perkataan lain yang boleh kita guna untuk sign off? We can use a lot of other words to sign off. Well, sorry. For signing off, usually it's just your name. You can add like a close friend, your ever-loving cousin, your relation. You can bring up your relation to the person. If you want to add to regards, like fond wishes or farewell wishes, or from your loving cousin, or from your looking forward to your food's cousin, you can be fun with it. It's informal format, so you can use fun greetings and regards. To forever looking forward to the meals you bake, cousin, Jasmine, or to your forever hungry friend, Jasmine. You can use all these other things too. The safe, however, answer is regards, because it's very much clean, and I don't recommend you trying to keep the 80 number words by using long regards. Yours truly pun boleh juga, yes. So if you're asking because you want another option, yours truly works too. If you're asking because you want to have more words in the regards so that you can fill up their word count, I don't recommend it. However, you can use a lot of adjectives to describe what you're talking about. For here, you can say, you can start learning how to make beautiful, large baking goods. You can make tasty, delicious treats. That's fine to use. All right, now you try. So here we have a question. We have 10 minutes left for the class. You received an email from your friend Jonathan. 80 words, write your reply to your friends. So again, question. To Fred from Jonathan. Who wrote this email? Who wrote this one? Who wrote this email? Jonathan or Fred? I want to make sure this is clear because we have 10 minutes left. I don't think you can write a 80 word message in 10 minutes. I don't think you want to, and I can't check it anyway. But ideally, you try. But I want to check a few things. Who wrote this email? Can anyone answer this? So Hannah Noah says Jonathan. Anyone from the YouTube chat? Does anyone have an answer? Nadina says Jonathan also. So we have a clear understanding right now. From is the person who wrote it. Jonathan was the person who wrote it. Who received the email? Whom shall we refer to in name as the person receiving and replying from? No, it's Jonathan already who wrote the email. Who's going to be writing it back? Jonathan to Fred. We're now writing from Fred back to Jonathan. So hi. So the subject is again, which hobby should I take up? It's the more or less the same thing. Let's look at the sentence here. It's been a while since I've heard from you. I would really like to spend time with you again. I have an idea. Let's join a weekend class together. Where shall we go? So weekend together, we should go. And what class should we register for? What should we bring for the classes? Let me know. Bye, Jonathan. So your reply, we have to do a few things. One, not only should you answer what hobby, it's a hobby you both want to do. And in your reply, you want to answer questions. Jonathan, he has asked questions already. Let me circle it out for you. Where shall we go? What class do we do? And what should we bring? So 3 main questions underneath the hobby. So as Fred, because you are Fred now, you're Fred, and you're replying to Jonathan, you need to answer these 3 questions. Answering these 3 questions alone will already amount to around 40, 50 words. I think I would enjoy doing pottery with you. I think I would enjoy doing pottery with you. 9 words. I noticed a class at the local library that happens on Sunday. 12 words. I think we are required to bring an apron and a spare pair of clothes. Let me check back and let me check and get back to you on a later date. So that you're done. You've already done 45 words. You're good. After that, it's just greetings and an outro. You're done. So that's it. So with all these tips I've given you, I am confident you're able to write an email to your friend back about this specific question. Oh my gosh, look at the page right now. It's all messy. So I'm clearing the page now. So here is the format. If you have the time, please try and answer this. Post it on the portal. We have a few Abang portal there that can refer and check your answers there. So if you want to have your answers checked, post it up on the portal. We'll love to see you there. Teacher, what portal are you talking about? Talking about the eKelas.com.my portal. It's our online education portal where all our students can get together, find information, slides and videos, and so much more. So we look forward to seeing you there. Now it's 5:24, we have 6 minutes left. Here is a sample answer that I'll share with you. So again, we got it right now. So to Jonathan from Fred, because you're writing as Fred. Subject, let's paint together. So the hobby we chose was painting. I think that's a fantastic idea. We can join painting class at We Paint Studio, located nearby my house. So again, here are the answers here. Where? Nearby my house. And this is the benefit we can get from it. Here is when? During the school holidays. And we don't need to bring anything because everything is provided already. Only need to bring 100 ringgit for registration. And then the reply, let me know what you think. You need to tell them what you need from them. So you give them the recommendation of a hobby. Now you want to know what Jonathan thinks. Does Jonathan want to go painting with you? And then finally, regards, Fred. So again, because the answer is already so packed, I don't recommend you expanding on the ending part. You can use other formats, but I would prefer to keep it regards, Fred. It's simpler. It gives you more space to work with your answer because you need to keep it around 80 words. Around means plus minus a bit boleh, but I don't recommend going all the way up to 90. 80 means you just finish your last sentence, or it's just you're at 79, 78, and you just can't fit the extra 2 words. But ideally, try hitting 80. All right, and that's it for today. It's 5:25. There's 5 minutes left. I think we have enough time for one more question. Okay, we have enough time for one more question. So I won't go through this anymore. This is more of a quick test. Let's place a tick mark beside the sentence that I can use to conclude an email. So I think this is a good quick experiment to try. I'm going to put the numbers here right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So which ones do you think would fit best to conclude an email? Which sentences do you think would fit to conclude an email? We have 1 till 8. Just give me the number and say yes or no. So and then say yes or no. So like 1, I hope you are in the pink of health. Yes or no? 2, I hope this helps. Yes or no? 3, how was your holiday? Yes or no? Number 4, I hope my advice has been helpful. We've seen this being used, and this is 2, 4, 7, and 8. So 2, 4, 7, and 8. Let's see. Number 4 is yes. Number 5, I hope this email finds you well, perhaps in the beginning. Number 6, I hope it's great that you want to take out swimming, perhaps in the middle. Number 7, do let me know if you need further information. Yes. And number 8, do let me know if you need my help. So yes, 2, 4, 7, 8. Let's see if the answers are correct. In 3, 2, 1. Yep, 2, 4, 7, and 8. All right, so those are the answers for today. I would like it that you write these down. So with the 3 minutes left, write this down. I'll leave up for a while. I have a few more announcements before I end this class, and I'll read them out now while you take notes. Number 3 doesn't really work because it's the beginning. You don't ask questions so much at the end of the email. How was your holiday is the beginning part of the email. However, if you wanted to make number 3 work, kalau nak pakai juga how was your holiday at the end, the email generally should have been about your holiday. Like, I had an amazing time in the city. I got to explore all the buildings and drive through the city streets while it was empty because everyone was balik kampung, and so no one was in the city. And I thoroughly enjoyed myself. But hey, let me know, how was your holiday? And then end your email. So that's the only way I can see you using how was your holiday at the end of an email. So yeah, all right. Number 5, I hope this email finds you well. Not really a usual format for that. I would put that as the first part. It's a more of a greeting just to say, hey, are you okay or not? And then you'll find out later because it's not an immediate thing. It's not, email is usually received and the receiver will reply as best they can. It's not a thing that you have to reply the last thing. Usually you would say that's the beginning and the conversation, but in the email, it doesn't really work. It's more for cordial sake. It's for being polite. And that's it. All right, I hope that made it clear for everyone. I really appreciate the questions. They were good questions too. So I thank you for that. Thank you, Hana Noah. Thank you so much. All right, with that, I'll bring this close now. I think everyone had enough time to take notes or take a picture. And now for the announcements in 3, 2, 1. Announcements 1, don't forget to check out our official portal. Again, I mentioned it, eKelas.com.my. For Hannah, Noah, and Zinjing, they found our portal and have joined me on Zoom so they can ask me questions directly and can communicate with me. On the YouTube channel, there's a bit of a delay, lambat sedikit because yeah, internet and all that. But you still can. Tapi kalau nak lagi best, joinlah kami on the portal at eKelas.com.my. It's always better to have that, and we'd love to have you on board. You'll also be given the slides earlier so you get to see things earlier and even ask me questions that weren't discussed in the slides because you already read them before that. 2, subscribe, like, and share our YouTube portal. It'll give you notifications for future classes, and it'll really help out to have more friends on board to study with. 3, digital mission on photography. It's a competition ending today. So if you're interested in winning prizes, go to the portal and join that competition. Number 4, tomorrow is Maths and Science happening at 10 a.m. So join. And if you want the specific schedule based on your form class level, again, it's on the portal. Kat mana? Dekat eKelas.com.my. All right, and that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining. My name is Teacher Umar, and thank you for the students on Zoom. You can say something if you want to. So Hannah and Zinjing, thank you so much for joining. Bye. Thank you so much for Form 4 students. I hope you have a good weekend and good luck with the future exams. My name is Teacher Umar. Thank you and bye-bye.